Hello. Now then, guys, welcome back to this stream on the George Scaife LFC channel. Today, I've listened to the feedback and we're going live at 5 p.m. instead of 10 a.m. Some people I appreciate are at work, school, etc., uni. So this is hopefully more accessible for a lot of people. If you are new to the stream, make sure you subscribe. New to the channel, sorry. Make sure you subscribe and leave a like if you enjoy. Loads to go through today. Specifically with, hold on, I'm in the wrong. Here we are. Darwin Nunez. Now, this looks pretty concrete. I think it's the most concrete we've seen with Nunez in terms of leaving. It's Al Hilal. This is an agreed deal. If we go to Fabrizio Romano on this one, hold on, it's number 6. Press number 6. There we go. When Fabrizio Romano confirmed, understand the contract for Darwin Nunez at Al Hilal will be valid until June 2028. That's a 3-year contract, and this is a club-to-club 100% agreement so far. A 53 million euro agreement plus add-ons, which will raise it, I think, to I've said around £60 million. Spency, one of the members of the channel's in the chat. Hope you're well, mate. Callum, how do I block this guy? This guy's stalking me. AB, Leon, guys, if you're in the TikTok, get into the YouTube. Loads to go through today. We're going to talk on Darwin in a second. We're also going to speak about the man Harvey Elliott, who is starting to, rumours are starting to arouse now, because we saw at the end of that game the other day, everyone else is going off the pitch. He's the one who stays on until the end. He does a lap of honour. That surely signifies Harvey Elliott leaving the club, right? So we're going to speak about Harvey Elliott and this potential link to RB Leipzig. This move could be on the cards. We're also going to talk about, this is an interesting story, not that one. We've just spoken about Harvey Elliott. We're going to talk about Tyler Morton. Now, this is official. Like, this isn't like a Nunez rumour or an Elliott rumour. Tyler Morton's gone to Lyon. And I feel like this has gone a bit under the radar, and I didn't really notice today until I saw his post on social media. Guys, if you're in the TikTok, get into the YouTube stream. We're live. We're talking all things Liverpool at this 5 p.m. stream. Steve's in here. Hope you're well. Josh is in here, mate. Shay's in here. Shay Darts. Hope you're well, mate. The thing is, Morton, I feel like it's gone under the radar because he's almost gone under the radar in a way. We've not really seen much of him. I guess as Liverpool fans, obviously if you support Hull, you'll listen more than we've probably seen of him. I've got a mate who's a Hull fan, and he rated him really high. Like, this is a guy who is definitely top-end Championship standard, bottom-half Premier League standard, and he could definitely start. Of course, he could definitely start in the Premier League at Tyler Morton. I've been loving what I've been seeing, certainly in pre-season. He tends to, if he is going to play, he'll play in the number 6 and dictate a lot of the play. Everything will go through him if he does play. I actually quite liked him as that kind of advanced 8 we saw in the England under-21s. Guys, if you're in the TikTok, get into the YouTube stream. We're talking all things Liverpool right now. Harvey Elliott, Tyler Morton, Darwin Nunez gone as well. Luke is in the chat. Luke, hope you're well, mate. We've got 4 attackers if Darwin and Chiesa leave. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. Should we start with Nunez? I think it makes sense to start with Darwin. Various reports. I've only brought this one up on screen because, to be honest, it was the first one I saw. So this is a contract until June 2028. I mean, obviously the amount of money attached to this is ridiculous in terms of wages, etc. This guy will be on an absolute bomb. But for Liverpool, in terms of the money, it's a pretty good fee, in my opinion, 50. And a lot of people disagree with this. I'd love to know what you think in the comments, because I got absolutely slated for this, saying we should take anywhere upwards of £40 million for Nunez. And I do stand by that. I entirely do. I don't think he's been particularly good. He's certainly not lived up to the 70 whatever million pounds it was expectation we had on him, or we bought him for. However, he's not worth that now. He's not worth anywhere near 70 million pounds, 70 million euros even. So to get 53 million euros, I think is a good deal. I think we're right in taking it. I think the Napoli deal that came about a while ago was just, I didn't even believe it was real. It almost seemed too good to be true, because Nunez is not worth that amount of money. I get he's relatively young. I mean, he's not really anymore, but I get he's still got that kind of moldable attribute to him. Like, he's very very raw still, and he's still not been developed, in my opinion. You'd like to think if an half-good manager got hold of him, you'd be able to get a tune out of him. But you look at Jurgen Klopp, and you've got to say probably didn't. Certainly not to the extent we thought he would. I just think you've got to take 53 million euros or pounds. Fucking Shanghai. I don't care whatever currency we're talking here. I think the time's right, in my opinion. Guys, if you're in the TikTok stream, get into the YouTube. We're getting comments up on screen. Ryan's in here. Ryan, hope you well, mate. Emil's in here. Have you seen the Ornstein Isak update? I've not. I've been trying to stay away from Isak. My word. This guy, I'm trying to block his name on Twitter, I think. Might have to do that. Morton will be back in the EPL in 2 years' time. Yes, I probably agree with that. Like Man United, I love it. I just think Morton, let's bring him up on screen again. We've not seen particularly much of him. But what I have heard about him is from Hull fans, for online, etc., is he was really, really steady, and he was one of their better players. I don't see a reason. I get why he's gone to France. I think that style of play might suit him. I think it's less, obviously, if he went to the Bundesliga, that's quite high intensity, like very counter-attack, which doesn't particularly suit his approach. I think he's more of a passer, more of a metronome. We saw when he played against, I mean, I'm going to get the game wrong. Was it AC Milan first half, or was it even that game in Japan? I don't know. One of them. It was really impressive. I thought it was really impressive. CJ is in the chat. Guys, get into the YouTube. We're live. We're talking all things Nunez, Morton, Elliott, and a few things on I've got a few things on Szoboszlai a bit as well. Stay tuned. We're going to bring up some potential formations and talk about Szoboszlai playing as a number 6, which we saw in the previous game against Bilbao, which is very interesting. But yeah, what are your thoughts on the deal? Get your thoughts in the comments now. Fahad is in the chat. Honestly, think he's a mid-table Prem play. I agree with that. And I think a lot of people disagree. And a lot of people going, how have Liverpool done it? £15 million for an unknown player. It's like, well, hold on. Whenever I have watched Tyler Morton, which granted hasn't been much, but certainly in pre-season this year, like it couldn't get any more relevant, literally the other week. He was really, really good. I really enjoyed his performance. Was it AC Milan? I think it might have been AC Milan. I really enjoyed his performance. And I saw a future for him in this team next year, certainly with Stefan Bajcetic being injured, certainly with maybe Endo getting towards the latter stage of his career. It's like the time's surely right for Morton. He's been, but someone said, who am I talking to? I'm talking to YouTube. I'm getting comments on screen to come and get involved and have your say. We're talking Morton, Elliott, and Nunez today. He's been at Liverpool since he was 7 years old. It's like the time was almost getting to the stage where the time was right now. Everything's kind of going in his favour, and then he gets the move. It feels very, it's not unfortunate. Maybe unfortunate for us in a selfish sense, but in terms of £15 million we're going to get for him, that's a very good deal. In terms of Morton getting regular game time, that's great for him. And I think I agree with what someone said before. I see him back in the Premier League. I really do in 2 years. I don't see why not. Just join the stream. Is there any breaking news from Ali? Yeah, we're talking all things Nunez in this stream, guys. Nunez agrees deal with Al Hilal, which, you know, we've had a few Nunez rumours certainly over the last couple months or month. The Napoli one, a couple other Saudi teams as well, but this seems like the most concrete. This is certainly the furthest along we seem to have been. This seems like 100% negotiation deal between both clubs. They both seem happy. I think Nunez definitely wants this move, and I think he probably deserves a move away. I think his time at Liverpool was becoming maybe not toxic. That's the wrong word, because ultimately the fans want him to do well. Right? We always have. Every single fan, even if you don't rate Nunez, you don't want him to fail. You surely want him to do well, right? So it's not toxic. I just think it's very easy to get on his back when he has a poor game. He's a very easy scapegoat, I think, when it doesn't go right. And I don't think we need that next year. I think with this new rebuild, it's almost like a fresh start, if you will. Like we're bringing in 5 new players. That's massive. And it seems like the right time for Nunez to leave, for us and for him as well. He's at that stage of his career as well. I mentioned before, he's quite malleable. He's still quite raw. He could still be moulded into a very, very good number 9. I do believe that. I don't believe his future's gone, Nunez. I think it'd be stupid to think that. I really would. He's got that kind of raw pace asset, right? He's got the kind of nuisance attribute, if you want to call it that, the kind of unpredictable, rash. So it's very spontaneous as a striker as well. Like if you're a centre-half, he's probably not going to score the goal, but you're not going to be able to mark him very easily. Like you're probably going to lose the man. Will he score? No, that's the problem. He never scored the goal. But I think there's a lot of potential still in Nunez. I know he's 25. How old's he now? I feel like he's 26 now. I feel like time's just passed us and he's like, be 35 soon. But it just makes sense. This one's from Steve. I want Gomez sold and a young centre-half side. I agree. I think that's the right way to go about it. Bring a centre-half in who's young enough to hold the bench for a couple of years and then come into the first team. Maybe if Konate leaves next year. Someone like Lyon, the Italian centre-half. We've got a video on him on this channel if you're interested. That seems to make sense to me. I mean, the other option is bringing someone like Mark Gahey, peak of his career, well, arguably, and then he comes straight into the first team. I see both worlds. I just don't see a world in which we sign Gahey and Isak. Bonkers LFC is in the chat. Bigger Paul, nice one, mate. We'll regret selling Morton. I don't know if we'll regret it. Maybe it feels like that now because you're losing a player who, you know, he's been here since he was 7 years old. Morton's always been a player's name in and around conversations, certainly in pre-season. Like, will Morton get a game this year? Where's he going to go on? Is it on loan or now he's actually been sold? I get there's a lot of sentimentality behind that, but I just don't. I think this is the right option for both him and the club, and also Lyon. You're getting a good player there, guys. If you're at this point in the stream, if not already, please leave a like on the channel, on the stream, on the video. It goes a long way, and it's the easiest and most free way of you being able to support the channel. So I really appreciate it. Guys, if you're in the TikTok, get into the YouTube stream. There's loads to talk about today, and we're about 10 minutes in, and it's going quite well. Spency, one of the members on the chat, I think, I'm just going to level you. I have no idea who that is. Not Gay. I know who Gay is, the other guy. So you have to let me know where he kind of plays. Do we have a sell-on? 20% sell-on clause included in the package, which is, yeah, I mean, is that what you're going to be selling him for? I don't know. We have to use this money for Morton. Yes, I probably agree, Rudy. I do agree. However, it's like when Isak's this far on, when you're this far into the negotiation of that, it's like, do you give up now? I think a lot of people think that we're not going to sign a centre-back. You know, if we sign Isak, we're going to be naive and not bring a centre-half in. I don't see a world in which that happens. I don't think Edward and Hughes and everyone associated with transfers is that naive in making that mistake. That would be a mistake. That's the biggest mistake you could possibly make this window. Forget signing Wirtz, signing Isak, signing Ekatike. Not bringing a centre-half in pretty much counters that. It doesn't, obviously, but it's, for me, a massive negative. And I don't think the club would do that. Sorry, I think maybe they've not signed one yet, but, you know, there's a month. Is there a month left at window? I think they're about that, something. So there's time. There's plenty of time. In terms of priority signings, yeah, maybe it should have been further up in the chain of priorities. I get that. You know, pre-season, we're forced to play 2 left-backs as centre-half. We're forced to play Endo there. We're forced to play an 18-year-old Trey Nyoni there, who I've done a video about yesterday. Go and watch that. I love him. I think he's amazing. I think he's a really, really talented young lad. At 18 years old, so mature, disciplined yesterday, throwing in at centre-back, and he was one of our best players. I think that injury from Nyoni towards the end, pulling it with the hamstring, is an indication of how many games he's played in pre-season, how many minutes he's played, and how he's not just playing like right back or right wing. He's in the core of the team. He's played at number 6, he's played number 8 in the final game, centre-half. This is a player who's so comfortable on the ball, and he's so mature for his age. He's 8. He's 3 years younger than me, and I'm sat here on a live stream. It's like, what the hell? It's freakish, mate. And I do think because Engamoa's coming up in the same team, and they've come up together, maybe not through the same academy, but you know what I mean? They're similar ages, right? 16 and 18. And because Engamoa's absolutely smashing it now, he's taken all the highlights, and rightly so. He deserves it. But I do think Naoni's quietly going in the corner there. Like, if we didn't have Engamoa, which, Christ, God forbid we didn't, but if we didn't, I think the praise for Naoni, will be through the roof. And I think it should be at the moment, even though we got above. Do you know what I mean by that? This one's from Curtis. George, what are your thoughts on Smith Rowe? I don't know. I feel like he's gone a bit crap. I mean, he's one of them who, like, he doesn't perhaps catch your eye with stats, isn't he, Smith Rowe? Or certainly last year. I think he's a good player. I think he's really great, kind of dribbler, protects the ball well, very smart, but I don't know. I'm not convinced by Fulham, to be honest with you. Fulham just always seem there or thereabouts, though, somehow. It's like they've got a very, maybe not old's probably the wrong word, but they've had players who are pre-loved, I guess you could say, Willian, Iwobi and Traore, but it's worked. God, it's worked. Like Pereira at Man United, like that's worked for them last season, so I'm not knocking that. And he's probably one of their best players. But he was signed for what? A big chunk of money, right? Unless I'm mistaken there. I don't know. Spencer, one of the members on the chat, CDM has gone under the radar. I do agree, but then if you look at it, and actually, Spencer, thank you for the little segue here. Guys, if you're in the TikTok, get into the YouTube stream. We're talking all things Liverpool. The 5 p.m. stream today. I was going to do a 10 a.m. one, but I had a few comments saying, you know what I mean, people are at work, so I've delayed it to now. Let's bring up some teams on the screen. Now, look at this team here. Don't look at that with it. The only thing with StreamYard is you can't have 2 things on at once. It don't matter. Right, look at these teams. This is, I'm going to remove them comments there so you can see. This is a team in a world where Szoboszlai starts as a number 6. Now, Spencer was saying we need a DM. We need to bring another DM in. But we saw in that preseason game against Bilbao just how good Szoboszlai was as a number 6 or a holding midfielder, a defensive number 8 kind of thing. He wasn't so much a 6. I thought it was excellent. And I think in terms of attributes a great number 6 needs, I think Szoboszlai's probably got 80% of them, 85% of them. Maybe lacks in defensive awareness, but I think that's natural. He's an attacking midfielder at heart, Szoboszlai, right? So, hold on, sorry. So yeah, I think he's so close to this being perfect. This is the team without McAllister in it, which in my opinion we should not play. Like McAllister's probably our best midfielder, and I think a few people on a few of these accounts on YouTube, etc., are dropping McAllister to try and get Szoboszlai in. I'm all for Szoboszlai being very, very good in number 6, which I think he will be and is. But you don't drop McAllister for that to happen. You surely drop. Firstly, you either play 3 in there or you drop Gravenberch. McAllister is the non-negotiable in this team. But if McAllister was to drop out the team, say he was injured or rested, because McAllister's great, but he will not be fit all season. Neither will Gravenberch, neither will Salah, neither will Wirtz. I mean, maybe fit's the wrong word. They will not be played all season. They will be dropped in cup games, or I suppose benched the right word. Dropped implies the crap. So that's the team without McAllister, and I think Szoboszlai would really work. You can't see my arrow, can you? You can't see my mouse, annoyingly. It would really work on that left zone, the defensive left space. With Kerkez, I think that relationship's great. Both Hungarian teammates as well, both mates. I think you can actually tell. I know it sounds quite basic here, right? You can tell straight away they've played with each other before. Do you know what I mean? Kerkez has just come in the team, and it was like they've been playing with each other for years. Well, I guess they have. That's why I guess they have with Hungary, right? And they are good mates off the pitch. I'm reading. Maybe they just hate each other and they're just Hungarian teammates, but they actually despise each other. I don't know. But I was really impressed by their link up against Athletic Bilbao. Sorry. So yeah, that's the team without McAllister in. Guys, if you're in the TikTok, get into the YouTube stream. There's nearly 100 people in here. But this is the team, I think, if Szoboszlai is going to play as a number 6, I think it will have to be this one without Gravenberch. And I think Gravenberch is more likely to be rested than McAllister. Exactly. Drop McAllister. Well, if you've been listening to anything I've just said, that's entirely... I'm not talking about that. That's the team I think will be played. Who do you think... Let me know in the comments now. Who do you think is a better fit, more complementary? Szoboszlai and McAllister or Szoboszlai and Gravenberch? Let me know your thoughts there. Try and get Szoboszlai in midfield too. Who are you putting next to him? Don't say Jones, because that really complicates things. But I like this. Obviously, we didn't see this against Bilbao. We saw the Szoboszlai and Gravenberch version. And yeah, that's probably more defensively solid. You've got a DM in there, Gravenberch, or a more defensive player. And McAllister isn't that. We have a new member on the channel, Rudy. I'm just going to take a breath here and try and pronounce your surname. Right, can you help me out? Kisialiu? If it is Kisialiu, that's the best name of all time, by the way. Thank you so much for becoming a member on the George Scaife LFC channel. I'm going to add your name to the... In fact, you know something? I'm going to add it right friggin' now. Oh my God, watch this. So I can add your name here with it, Rudy. I'm just going to put Rudy because I've only got a certain amount of characters. I can't put... I'm trying to cut out surnames. But Rudy, thank you so much for becoming a member on the channel. You should have some new badges now. I think there's new badges, so if you're a member for 2 months, 3 months, it increases. But thank you very much for that generous donation to the channel. Bench Szoboszlai, the balance is well, says Dayan. LFC Josh Bradley of a Frimpong. We'll talk about that in a minute. In fact, we could talk about it now. I don't know. Generic name, not to be dramatic, but Nunez leaving maybe the... No, it's not that bad. Rudy Kiselo. Roddy Kiselo. Roddy Kiselo? Roddy Kissel, that's a great name, by the way, if I said that right. My word. You've beaten, there's a fella in here called Joaquin. Oh, my word. You should see when he comes in. His surname's amazing. His first name's great. Right, where are we now? Yeah, we're talking McAllister and Szoboszlai. I think that works better than with Gravenberch. I just think McAllister offers more on the ball, firstly. It was so evident against... What was the game? The game, AC Milan. I feel like McAllister didn't play, did he? And we just missed that ball progression. Like, you could see it straight away. No, it wasn't AC Milan. It was the Japan game. The game in Japan. I tell you exactly what it was. We were trying to attack out the back. Our first stage of progression was Van Dijk. Oh, Rudy. I was right. Rody. It's Rody. That's a great name still. Rody. Right, great name. We're trying to play out the back from Van Dijk, playing diagonals to Salah and Gakpo. And that's what happens when you ain't got McAllister in there, right? Because McAllister likes to be in that first phase of play. I don't think Szoboszlai does, but I do think he's very good at it. I think against Bilbao, who's kind of dropping in between Endo and Kerkez at times and kind of pinging the ball either side, kind of that quarterback role. But Szoboszlai can also run. He can also make up ground. He's got them kind of... I mean, he's got so many, like, not on FIFA, like the physicality stats. Someone's like 90 plus in every single one. He's one of the fittest players I've ever seen. He's probably, you know, when Milner left doing like the lactate test and all that crap, Milner used to win it every year, bleep test. Someone's like must win it. I've never seen a player actually cover more ground, be in more positions. He's up front on the right, he's back on the left. And I think that's exactly why this number 6 role works for him. And especially next to McAllister, a player who probably, if you had to pick, listen, McAllister's great, one of the best midfielders in the league. But if you had to pick what's his weakness, like what his only weakness is probably running. Not that he doesn't run, he does, but not maybe like just a bit of bastard, like, you know how Gerrard used to just like sprint through players, like a bit of nastiness as well. I think Szoboszlai has that. I think McAllister maybe does, but certainly Gravenberch don't. So I think Szoboszlai adds a bit of bite into the midfield as well. He's also got that work rate, and he can churn up grass, man. I think he works on this right-hand side with Salah and Bradley. I think that was shown last year with Trent and Salah, that great relationship Szoboszlai had down that right-hand side. I think maybe with Salah, a lot of people, which I disagree with, by the way, a lot of people saying Salah's slowing down. I disagree entirely. If that was the case, Szoboszlai behind Salah works so well. I mean, putting legs around him, right? Again, I don't think that's the case. I think it's nonsense. Generic name, one of the members in the chat. There's 3 members in the chat right now. I know he's not playing the first game of the season, but seeing no Gravenberch in a starting 11 feels cursed. It don't feel right, does it? But then again, I'm not excited by Szoboszlai in the number 6 role. I want to make it happen. I want to make that. Rody, I would take up Gakpo, even though I love him, and play Wirtz off the left. I entirely agree with what you're saying, and I had that as my team. If Isak joins, I'd play a 4-2-3-1. I'd have McAllister and Gravenberch in your 2. I'd have Szoboszlai in the 10, Wirtz off the left, Salah off the right, and Ekitike or Isak up front. Well, Isak if he signs. But seeing these pre-season games, I've loved seeing Wirtz drop into midfield. I think that's actually been one of the highlights of pre-season, in my opinion. Seeing Wirtz come deep to pick the ball up, because I almost don't want him to push. I don't want to push him wide, right? You get your best players on the ball. Guys, if you're not already at this point, make sure you leave a like on that video, on this video. Guys, if you're in the TikTok, get into the YouTube stream. We're bringing comments up on screen. This one's from Dayan. I think certain games you play Szoboszlai when we need that physicality and running power. Yes, no, I agree with that. I think Szoboszlai is a great option to have against the top teams. Man City, Arsenal. He gives the legs. Against Man City last year, you know what I mean? Like, I liked Szoboszlai in that false 9, kind of pushing on into the final, onto the front 4, because he's got the legs to do it. Where are we now? We're looking at, this one's from Joe. Hello, Joe. What do you think will happen with Bajcetic and Doak? I don't know. I don't see Bajcetic leaving. Certainly not being sold. I see him maybe on a loan. I see Doak probably more likely to leave than Bajcetic. I hope it's a loan. I hope we don't let go of that asset, because his ceiling is so high, Ben Doak, isn't he? And it's not like Morton, where Morton at a certain level and has a certain level I think he can get to, but I think Doak has the potential to go further than that in terms of like the raw attributes, the pace. He's so fast. His acceleration, by the way, he might be the quickest player in the squad, Doak. Oh, no, Frimpong. Behind Frimpong. In terms of acceleration, it's scary. Like with the ball, nuts, mate. He's so direct as well. Very tunnel vision. That can be a negative, I guess, at times. If you're so focused on the goal and there's other players around you in better positions, maybe you don't pass to them. So maybe working on that end product from Doak. But if Chiesa leaves, I don't see a reason why Doak can't do what Chiesa did last season. Oh, excuse me. So I hope Doak stays. Give us your 11 for game week 1. My 11 for game week 1 is really controversial. And actually now, my 11's changed after that game against Bilbao, because I had Curtis Jones starting the first game. And I think Curtis Jones has done a great job in pre-season. I think he's almost earned that spot in the first game. So I would not be mad at all if Jones was in there against Bournemouth at home. Again, I said this a few times now. It's a perfect time to play Curtis Jones. If you could handpick a game to play Jones, Bournemouth at home makes so much sense. They're a press inside. He's press resistant, certainly more so than maybe a Szoboszlai. But now, after seeing Szoboszlai against Bilbao, I play Szoboszlai in there with Gravenberch. Sorry, with McAllister, because Gravenberch is, of course, suspended for the first game. McAllister and Szoboszlai in there. Yeah, McAllister hasn't played as many minutes as I would have liked, but he's a professional football player. I'm sure he'll manage. I'm sure he can play 70 minutes until maybe a Jones comes on, or a 65-minute, 60-minute spell. And then Jones comes on, he's match fit, he's ready to go. He's also hungry, Jones. Like, it's a great opportunity for him. I know it's the first game, and I know likely Gravenberch is going to come straight back into the team. But if Jones really impresses, right, it's not that he needs to, like, he has impressed in previous years, but I still think that's a great opportunity there. You have a great game right from the off. we'll batter them. Why take Jones out of the team? Jones will be thinking, well, hold on, I've put a really good performance in there. Don't drop me now. I don't know. I don't know what one game. I don't think one game, to be fair, can have a swing on things really. Lozano's in here, one of the long-term supporters of the channel, mate. Hope you're well. Doak Shite says Jacob. I disagree. I think he's maybe got that blurred vision in the final third at times, but that'll come in time. Like the more games you play, I think that Borough spell last year, that loan was really good for him. The more game time you play, the more used to being in the final third you're going to be, right? In a proper like environments. And I think he's a great option to have in the Champions League, in cup games certainly, where I think he'll start, but also coming on off the bench with Engamoa. I think having both of them as well is pretty nice, like either wing. Do you know what I mean? It's not like if you're a fullback or if you're a team, you kind of double up on one winger, maybe Engamoa, because he's that kind of scary right now. But if you bring Ben Doak on it, Doak's also got that ability to terrorise fullbacks and to almost embarrass you, Doak, right? Guys, there's nearly 100 people in this chat. This is amazing. There's more people in here than on the TikTok stream. But if you are in the TikTok stream, get into the YouTube. And if you haven't already, leave a like on the goddamn stream. If you're watching this on a catch-up, by the way, I really appreciate you and I hope you're all well. I am planning to do a few more of these 5 p.m. streams if it goes well. I think it is at the moment. I think this is quite a good one. How do I become a member, says Mishi. I believe you have to be on a laptop or a PC to do it. You can't do it on your phone. It's a button that says join. It's next to the subscribe button. It says join, and you should be straight in, mate. But it's weird how you can't do it on your phone, but hopefully that works for you. Jacob, Frimpong or Bradley. I mean, let's bring this on screen. There's 100 people in here, guys. Thank you so much. Leave a like on the stream. It goes a long way. It really does. Bradley starts in my first team, and I want to get some comments involved here. Let me know, guys, your thoughts. Who would start for you? Who would start for you in this team? Say we're playing. Okay, then I'll give you the team. We're playing Arsenal. Is it a third game Arsenal, or is it second game? Third, I think. We've got Arsenal. Third game. Who are you playing? For me, Bradley plays that game. Wow, we've had a donation at $1.99 from J Talks Film. Mate, thank you very much for the generous donation. Thank you. When Salah goes AFCON, do you play Frimpong right wing / I do. And to be honest, I wouldn't have before pre-season, but I do like the Frimpong I was seeing. He's very, I know people say he gets forward, but my word, he likes to get forward. So I don't think that'll be an issue. I think with Ekitike, Wirtz, maybe even Isak, and certainly Gakpo, you've got the goals spread about there. I wouldn't bring Frimpong in and be concerned that we're not scoring goals. I bring Frimpong in for other reasons. I do worry that if Frimpong plays right wing, Bradley plays right back, if one of them goes down, who the hell comes in, right? Because we've only got 2 in there, whereas left back, we've kind of got 3 at the moment. I'm not saying we need to bring a right back in, but I do think a centre half who could play right back would be nice. You look at Arsenal, they've got a few of them. Timber, Ben White, you know what I mean? We've only got one, and it's Gomez, and he's pretty injured. We have got Szoboszlai, who could play as a right back, Curtis Jones. I think Nione could play there maybe. Someone like Endo could fill in as a right back. Not ideal, but could be an option. So yeah, to answer your generous donation, mate, I think so. I think he fills in at right wing. Thank you so much for the support on the channel. It all goes back in, guys, to this. It all goes back into StreamYard, which I'm paying for every month, so I can get these comments on screen. It's a really good system. I quite like it. That's all I needed to do, really. It's nothing particularly fancy. Rody, one of the new members on the channel today. Do you think Sesko will have more goals than Ekitike if Isak doesn't sign? Is this Sesko at Man United? I'd say yeah. Because this man is just goals in the Ekitike is more than just goals, I think. But if Isak doesn't sign, maybe no then. Maybe no. I think playing up front at Liverpool now with Wirtz behind you, Salah behind you, Szoboszlai, McAllister, Gakpo, I could probably score a few goals in there. Just by simply standing in the right areas and receiving the ball, Ekitike is probably going to score 8 of the easiest goals of his life. I don't think that's a crazy thing to say. Playing in one of the most exciting teams in Europe right now, over the last decade, like all these players, certainly if Isak signs, by the way, like what the hell? People are saying this is the greatest window of all time, by the way. So I think Ekitike will score at least 10 goals, easy ones, and I think maybe due to his own individual skill, which we've seen glimpses of against Bilbao and other compilations, I think he maybe gets 5-6 more. I think maybe a 16-goal season for Ekitike. 17 in his first season is particularly good. Also, you've got to share the goals around the team, right? Salah's not likely going to score near 20 again. If Isak signs, he scores 20, I don't know. It's wow, it's pretty scary. This one's from Dayan. If we sign a lot of players, but we sold a lot, and don't have a lot of first team options, so we might. Yes, yeah, I think that's a fair point. This one's from Alexis, we should be prioritising. Yeah, a lot of people saying that, and I do get the concern, but at the same time, again, I don't think the club and those in charge, Edward Hughes, etc., are that naive and not signing a centre half at some point. I think it gets done, but I just don't think it's happened right now. I think the priority's been all wrong. But then again, what the hell do I know? Like, we've had an unbelievable transfer window. I can't sit here and go, well, we've not signed this player. Really. Noticed Hugo running down the left a lot. Yes, I've got a video explaining all the tactics from yesterday's game, and I loved him in that left channel. Oh, excuse me. I think that was something that Frankfurt was very apparent, certainly when Marmoush was there. He'd play towards the right, Ekatike would play off the left. Oh, was it? Either way. But anyway, he was kind of not so much in the centre. He liked to come wide to receive the ball. And we saw that yesterday for Salah's goal, or the day before yesterday, with Mo Salah's goal, when he beat the man, took him wide, byline, cut it back. And I think Ekatike can do that. He's skillful enough. He's quick enough as well. I was surprised how fast he was, actually. Didn't think that. Obviously, he's very tall, right? But I look at Gakpo. I think they're very similar profiles in their build, etc. Gakpo's not the fastest of wingers. Like, he's quick. Of course he is. You've got to be quick to be a winger, right? You'd like to think. But he's not like a Ben Doak quick or an Engamoa quick or a Salah quick. Gakpo. Diaz. Gakpo likes to take players on a different way and beat players a different way. So yeah, I was impressed by how quick Ekatike was, sorry. Salah assist record incoming, James. James put this comment in, by the way, which I absolutely love, and I'm going to highlight it for everyone to see. Thank you. But yeah, I'll bring you sensible comment up now. I entirely agree with this. I'm doing a vid on my channel. Guys, if you're in TikTok, get into the YouTube stream. We'll bring your comments up on screen, have you say. I was going to do a 5 unpopular opinions video with Liverpool, and everyone gets more unpopular. And my final one was going to be Salah 25 assists. I get it's unpopular. I certainly think he goes for, maybe not gets, but goes for a 20 assist season. I just think if not now, will that ever be done? Now De Bruyne's not in the league. Obviously, Henry's, I think. Is it De Bruyne and Henry have the 2 records for that, 20 plus? I just think Salah, his playmaking ability, is really, I think coming on's the wrong word because it's always been great, but certainly recently, it's so much more noticeable. In pre-season, some of the passes he's made, mate, have been just out of this world. So impressive. And when Salah's a player with goals to his game, like he takes all the paper highlights because of his goals, not so much because of the passing. And people who criticise Salah for not being a playmaker and for having a touch like a trampoline, whatever they say, whatever's meant to be funny and trendy, they don't watch every single game. They don't watch the highlights of when Salah maybe does a nice pass and it comes off, or when he doesn't do a nice pass and it gets in the highlight reel. You don't watch all the highlights. Salah, you don't watch all the games, sorry. Salah does it all the time. Doesn't have to be a match of the day. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. I think another one of them was David Silva. I thought David Silva, like, he tried so... When you watch David Silva live in a game compared to the highlights, I just thought he was, like, absolute magic. Because he tried so much in the game. Do you know what I mean? I think Salah tries so much, and a lot of it comes off, but maybe the shot misses. Or maybe it's just a tiny bit off the pass, or you know what I mean? I think he's so underrated. And with Isak in front of you, maybe, with Wirtz to the side of you, and Ekatike, Gakpo, if you can't get 20 assists here, fucking hell. Do you play? Yes, I've got an FPL team. To be honest, I don't know how to set up a league. I'll have a look into that. George Scaife worshipper. What the hell's going on? You had the Ornstein update. I've not. Can someone let me know that one, please? How high of a ceiling do you reckon Engamoa has? I mean, it reminds me of young Sterling. Yes, that's a fair comparison. You think of players like Doué for me. His potential's the same. I think Doué's probably higher. He's just a bit older, and they've done it in the Champions League, etc. He was unreal in the Champions League, by the way. But I mean, the sky's the limit for Engamoa, right? We've only seen the start, and I'm sure there's plenty more chapters in his book, to give you a little metaphor there. Mr. Sky, Joaquin's in the chat. Now, Joaquin, I'm just going to drop some awful news for you. I think you might have the second best name in this whole chat now. You were the leader, but Rodi, I forgot what I said. It was Kisialu. Kisialu? Is that right? Rodi Kisialu? I think that overtakes your name, Joaquin, unless you feel like changing your name by default. I don't know how you do it these days. And then maybe join the chat again. Maybe we could talk again. But I think that's a great name. Charlie's in the chat. Hope you well, mate. Hope you well. Kisaloo. Kisialu. Well, what's the I for then? I don't know. I'm terrible at names, mate. It's the worst part of my life. Right. Yeah, right. Let's go through a quick recap because I appreciate people will have joined now and missed. Kiss hello. What's the little eye for there in the middle? It's a bit of a curveball, the eye there. No, I can't compete with that name. Sorry, Joaquin. Right, let's go through a little recap because I appreciate people have joined and maybe missed what we've been speaking about. It's been a long day. I can't even say the word speaking. Ironic, isn't it? Let's talk Darwin Nunez. There seems to be an agreement with Al Hilal. This looks to be a contract valid until June 2028, which is 3 years. They seem to be 100% nailed on, club to club. Agreement seems to be there. He wants to leave. 53 million euros, which is what, 44 million quid, 45 million quid, is it? I don't really know. Plus add-ons, so that could definitely rise. And I've read that the add-ons are very achievable as well. Very achievable. And I believe Al Hilal are one of the best teams in Saudi, right? I don't really know. But maybe if they're performance-based in a club level, there's more add-ons there. Let's talk. We've kind of done that. 46 million. I was kind of halfway in between. But yeah, I think it's important to remember the moments Nunez has given us. Given us a lot of last-minute winners. Firstly, very much a roller coaster. He's given us a lot of negatives, but there were a fair share of positives, of course. None more so than that Newcastle game, right? Them 2 goals coming off the bench, that was just amazing. So Nunez, as it looks like, left Liverpool. That's the big bit of news today. The second bit of news is Harvey Elliott. This looks to be really heating up with Xavi Simons maybe going to Chelsea. Or has he gone to Chelsea? Has that been confirmed? I don't know. Wherever he goes, they need to bring someone else in, a similar kind of player. And I think Harvey Elliott is maybe not as good, but why not? I think that's a great punt to make. Maybe not even a punt. Maybe that's just proven. Harvey Elliott won it at Liverpool. Sorry, done it at Liverpool before. Done it for the England youth teams, etc. Plenty of ability, of course, and a great ceiling still. I mean, he's still only young, this kid, this lad. And it's a great option to have, I think, Harvey Elliott. I mean, it's not really worked at Liverpool to certainly the extent we thought it maybe would. But no doubt he's been very good for us. Very, very good. And it'll be sad to see him go. It will be sad. We kind of lose that maybe creative aspect in the team. He's a different angle, isn't he, to a Szoboszlai, McAllister or Jones. He's more attacking. He's less physical. He's going to do less defensive work, certainly. I was going to say less work, but no. I've always admired Harvey Elliott's work rate, actually. I think he does. He kind of like buzz about the pitch kind of vibe, hasn't he? I guess he's a bit of a nuisance. I guess he causes a bit of a problem for the opposition. I think at times. But yeah, I don't think, to be honest, I'm going to lose much sleep over Harvey Elliott leaving. As sad as that is, but yeah, maybe didn't achieve what we thought he would. Still been very good though, no doubt. I mean that sounds really harsh. Still been very, very good, and I think he's definitely worth at least £35 million. Let me know your thoughts. How much would you take for Harvey Elliott? And then the final bit of news is Tyler Morton. Guys, if you're in TikTok, get into the YouTube stream. And make sure you leave a like, by the way, if you haven't already. It goes a long way in supporting the channel. The final bit of news is this. Tyler Morton joins Lyon from Liverpool, £15 million deal with a 20% sell-on clause. That's included. This is great for us. It's great for him. It's great for Lyon, getting a good player. It makes a lot of sense on a lot of levels. I think a few people are actually a bit annoyed by this. A few people seem to be upset by the price tag, £15 million. I think you've got to say it's fair. He's never particularly featured in first team. It's like we never saw the best of Morton. He was always doing his best work on loan or in the youth teams. He's been here since he was 7 years old. Like Morton's always been a name that you'd hear in conversations, certainly in pre-season. Like, where's Morton going to be next season? Is Morton going to feature? Is he going to go on loan? But now he's actually gone, and it's like, wow. Even though he's not really played, that's a big talking point gone, right? I think Morton. So I wish him all the best, and yeah, I genuinely think he'll be back in the Premier League in 2 years. I think he's good enough, and I think having 2 more years playing top football in a top team in the French league, right? Who I believe Lyon didn't actually go down, did they? I think didn't they? I don't know. Might have misread that. I think they came back up. Or Joaquin, amazing work from Mr. Hughes. Yes, I get that. A lot of rival fans saying, "Well, hold on, they've got £15 million here for a relatively unknown player." I disagree with that. Entirely. I think it's an entirely fair valuation for the player. Where's Bajcetic currently? Injured, I assume. Still injured. I think he is. Kind of off topic, but Konate. Well, Konate, yeah, he's gone a bit quiet, isn't it, with Konate? I think all the centre half talk's gone really quiet. Are we going to bring one in? Is Konate going to go? it doesn't seem to be the priority at all right now. I'm sure it'll get done. I'm sure someone will come in. I'm sure someone will leave, whether it be, well, maybe, I'm not sure, but I think maybe Canate or Gomez might leave, one of the two. I know Kwanzaa has, but I think if one leaves, you've got to bring two more in, because you need one right now as it is. If Canate leaves, I think we need two, to be honest. Right, guys, we are 40 minutes into the stream. I've really enjoyed it. That was the Liverpool Latest stream. I'm starting to call this now. And that was a 5 p.m. stream. We're now 5:45, and I hope you've at least gotten some value out of the stream and had a good time watching. If you can, be so kind, leave a like on the stream down below and subscribe. It really goes a long way in supporting the channel, supporting what I do, and these will be coming more regularly in the future. Tomorrow, there will not be a stream. Well, no, I'm busy all day. I'm out. I'm at an event tomorrow, which is quite exciting. And the day after, what, we're in there Friday? No, Saturday. Oh, I'm messing my days up here. Thursday, tomorrow, Friday. Yeah, Friday there'll be a stream at some point. If you want to see more 5 p.m. streams, do let me know. I'm going to put a poll in the community tab tonight. When do you want your streams? Get involved with that and like the video. If you enjoyed, ta-da, I'm off. See you later, guys.